Hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of the Software Plaza podcast. I'm Dwayne Taylor, editor at Software Plaza, and I'm really excited to be chatting each week with a creator, a builder, and someone that's doing something cool in the space of cloud native computing and just all things software related. And we've done a lot of episodes before this. So go and check out all of our previous episodes if the ones that you're interested in. You can find us on Spotify, YouTube, all of the podcast platforms. Also head over to our website, softwareplaza.com. We've got articles, we've got job listings, a bunch of stuff happening. Today I have with me Sonal Khanna, who is co-founder and COO at Secure Blink. Their website is secureblink.com. That's where you'll find them. And Secure Blink is solving challenges related to application and API security. And that's going to be the topic of our conversation for today. So quite excited to be chatting with them. So Secure Blink was they've been awarded the Gartner Peer Insights Award, and most recently, they've been selected to be part of a global AI accelerator program that was held in Paris, and they were one of the top 10 AI companies selected from many that participated. And so, yeah, they're making waves. They are new, and they've got some interesting ideas to share, and that's why we called Sonal over to talk to us today and share some of those ideas and their approach to application and API security. Sonal, welcome to the Software Plaza podcast. It's great to have you with us. Thanks for joining.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dwayne, for having me. Really excited to be here. Hi,
All
everyone.
right.
I'm Sonal Khanna, the co-founder of SecureBlink. So we are an AI-powered cybersecurity company focused on web application and the API security. And at SecureBlink, we are building THREATSPY, a developer-first AppSec management platform. So that helps organizations detect, prioritize, and fix real vulnerabilities without slowing down the innovation.
All right. All right. Sure. Yeah, I would love to get to know all that you're working on. I want to start with just asking about your story, Sonal, and your background, and even a bit about that. But yeah, just leading up to what made you want to co-found Secure Blink and how it happened. Tell us about the backstory.
My journey has always been close to the real world security operations. So,
Right.
at previous roles, I saw the same pattern repeat. The security teams were overwhelmed, and developers were frustrated, and tools weren't talking to each other. So, what really pushed me was realizing that security wasn't failing because teams didn't care. It was failing because tools weren't designed for how software's built today.
Mm.
So, we were relying on manual testing, point tools, huge vulnerability backlogs, no clarity on what actually mattered. And Secure Blink started with just a simple question: what if security worked at the speed of development instead of against it? And that question became ThreatSpy.
Wow, interesting. Yeah, and what was the moment where Secure Blink was born? How did it happen? Was it a conversation? Was it a Reddit forum thread? How did that happen?
So we started up in 2020, and that's how the conversation was going with my co-founders, like Tapendra Dev, me. We were discussing about these problems that were faced at that time, and that's how like we come up with the platform ThreatSpy.
Okay, okay, interesting.
So
And
it we incorporated in 2022, but the conversations were started in 2020 with the thinking about the problems, and then the solution came up.
mhm, mhm. All right.
So
Wow.
by
Interesting.
2020, we were there. 2022, we were there in the market. Yeah.
Hmm. Nice. Are you guys funded or bootstrapped?
So we are currently like a little bit of bootstrap and a little bit of the government funds, but not, we are at the seed stage currently. And
Okay.
we are fundraising currently also.
Oh, okay. All right. So Series A
Yeah.
is coming up, is it?
No, actually, seed we are funding. We are fundraising. So Series A is a bit, far
Yeah.
currently.
Okay. All right. All right.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. I'm sure a lot is happening within the company and must be exciting times. Okay, let's get to talking about our topic for today, application and API security. What do you see? You mentioned you saw some of these problems and challenges that teams face related to application and API security. You called out tools not being able to talk to each other. Talk to us a bit more about the problems and the pains that teams face. Which are these tools that don't talk to each other? What does it mean for the teams that work with them? Uh, Tell us a bit more about the challenges and the pains behind application and API security.
So APIs are like the backbone of modern digital businesses, but they have also become the largest blind spot. And so there are a few key reasons why. Because applications today expose hundreds or thousands of APIs, and APIs change frequently, often without security reviews. And traditional tools were built for the monolithic apps, not the distributed systems. So if you see, we need the platforms which get integrated into the software development lifecycle. And the traditional tools weren't built for these kind of things. They, the security came after the development of the complete application of the API, after the production. But we need the platforms which are proactive and which are, used pre-production. So the security needs to be there by design.
Hmm. Hmm.
So that's
Right.
like we now see the vulnerabilities and the security flaws like broken authentication, the excessive data exposure, the business logic abuse, the shadow and the zombie APIs. So attackers love APIs because they are direct, silent, and powerful. And
Hmm.
that's why over 80% of recent application breaches involve APIs. So we need the platforms which are proactive and which can get integrated into the software development lifecycle like ours.
All right. And how do teams respond to some of these challenges? Do they play the blame game and try to like put the blame on the other team? Uh, what's a team? What impact do these challenges have on team culture, on conversations, on the mindset of these people in these different teams? Let's say dev and then the security team or the ops team. How does it impact their conversations?
So if you see these products is, I mean, the traditional platforms are already being used by the security teams. And while the development teams, they are pushing APIs and the applications to the production, but they are not checking it during the development stage. And they are doing it multiple times a day. But the security teams does these checks once in a week or let's say twice in a week. So by the time vulnerabilities get discovered, the platforms, the APIs, and the applications are already being pushed to the production with a lot of vulnerabilities. And that's how these are becoming the major targets for the attackers. So we need the platforms that can be used by the developer teams so that they can also, while they are pushing anything to the production, they can first have a security scan of those applications and APIs. Should not wait for the security teams to do that.
Hmm.
So every
Hmm.
time they can just run a security scan, they can just see what are the security flaws or what are the vulnerabilities they have discovered, they can fix it, and then they can ship those applications, the secure applications and APIs to the production. And that's how we integrate the security by design.
Yeah, yeah, interesting. One thing that comes to my mind as you say this about developers finding vulnerabilities at the start is that developers often don't want to care about security as much, you know. I mean, they kind of think of it as it's someone else's job. I'm just going to build features, write code, and then how secure that is, how reliable that is, that's someone else's problem. So, in other words, if you're trying to tell developers, hey, we want you guys to like spot and stop these vulnerabilities right at the start of the pipeline, you're going to need to take a unique approach which actually removes all friction and makes it really seamless for developers to actually do this because it doesn't come naturally to them, you know, to think about security first. What are your thoughts on what I just said?
So basically, the thing is, the platform that we have designed, it is, it will not let the developer team slow down their innovation. So the platform is very, very developer friendly and very easy to use. The platform is, then they can, I mean, everything is being automated. The security teams have to, use and write the test cases by themselves. But the platform that we have developed, developer teams does not have to do. It is a very, very seamless platform. So they just have to initiate the scan and everything will be run automated. So the scan gets completed in a very automated way. The vulnerability discovery will be there, the prioritization will be there. And the main part is remediation, that
Hmm.
is also there. So our very, very, curated remediation steps will help them to fix those vulnerabilities in a very proactive manner and with a very less utilization of the time. And that's how like we need the security that works inside their workflows, not outside them.
Hmm. All right, all right.
So yeah.
Interesting. And I'd like to earmark that and come back to it because yeah, it sounds interesting, and I want to like see this in action as you plan to give us a walkthrough of the product in just a bit. Just show us how this works and how, you know, as you mentioned, it is seamless, it is developed. There's automatic scanning and there's remediation. I'd like to see see all of these explained in just your tour as well. But before we get there, let's talk a bit more about just some of the challenges around detecting vulnerabilities. You mentioned scanning in your previous response.
Yes.
Uh,
Yes.
Tell us about the challenges around detecting vulnerabilities that teams typically face, and what do you think is the right approach and the right way to find vulnerabilities early and quickly?
So we need to, do the testing at every stage whenever we are pushing even a single feature or let's say anything. So there are vulnerabilities like OS top 10, my top 25. These are the vulnerabilities which have to be tested very frequently and very often. These are the major, the bottlenecks, and the many of the cyber attacks are, happening via these vulnerabilities only.
Hmm. Hmm.
So yeah. So it's like we have to be, I mean, the developer teams have to use these kind of platforms to identify them in a very initial and the earlier stages rather than being the afterthought of this.
Okay, okay. Yeah, I'd definitely love to see that in action as well in your product. So talk to us about just the approach you take. You already kind of, you know, touched on it briefly, but yeah, just to call it out here more clearly, what would you say is the uniqueness of ThreatSpy and Secure Blink's approach to application and API security?
So the first is the AI powered approach that we have, used at every step, like the AI powered detection, AI powered prioritization, and the AI powered remediation. So AI powered detection, we mean that we are not only, analyzing the vulnerabilities, we are not only discovering the vulnerabilities based on the signature based approach, rather we are using the behavior based analysis, using our AI and to come up with the vulnerabilities which are not yet known, but they are, there are some kind of anomalies that our platform will going to flag it up, that you have to see this particular thing or particular flaw which may become the vulnerability in the future times. And today, like we will be calling them the 0 days vulnerabilities. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Then second comes the AI powered prioritization. So these are the challenges. So the second we come the AI powered prioritization, where like we have developed our own reachability based framework, which will tell you that which are the vulnerabilities that are actually posing risk or actually exploitable by the external bad actors. So first thing is the CVSS approach, which is being utilized by the other platforms as well, which will be categorizing the vulnerabilities in the critical, high, medium, or low severity wise categorization. But
Mm-hmm.
on top of CVSS, we have built our own platform, our own approach, which is the reachability based framework.
Okay, okay. Interesting. Yeah, I'd love to see that, in action and see what it actually looks like. Could we do the product tour right now?
Sure, sure. Yes, we can do the product too. Just allow me a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So this is the THREATSPY platform, wherein
Mm-hmm.
this is the application risk over a period of time. And here, like you can add the asset. So we have added these dummy assets. Okay. And once you start the scan, then once the scan gets completed, so these are the threat scores. These are the line graph we have, which will be plotted whenever you. So this is for the each and every application. Okay, so here we are giving them the views like the monthly view, quarter view, and the yearly view. And
Mm-hmm.
whenever the scan gets completed, you'll be able to see the threat score that will be out of 10. Higher the threat score, higher the risk that application or API is posing on the organization's environment, and every scan will be allocated one scan ID. So here you can see the categorization of the vulnerabilities based on the severity. So these are how many number of vulnerabilities being found in each and every category, like critical, high, medium, or low.
Mm-hmm.
So here you can see the view finding. You can so if you so this these are the all asset dashboard. So here you can see you can connect n number of assets in your platform, and you'll be able to see the complete number of assets, the scan type, the last scan, the severity wise categorization, and then the action performed. So we are giving two type of scans. The one is the light scan, and the second one is the deep scan. So
What's the
light
difference?
scan, yeah. So light scan, so there is a difference of the number of test cases being covered in each scan. So light scan will get completed in max 10 to 15 minutes, which will cover 7,000 plus test cases. And the deep scan will take max 2.5 hours to get completed, and it will cover maximum of the 25,000 plus test cases.
Can you give us some examples of which kind of test cases are in each?
So the light scan, I mean, see, the OS top 10 and the micro top 25, these test cases will be covered. The misconfiguration issues will be covered in these test cases. But it's the light scan will be the surface level scan, and the deep scan will be the very deeper penetration of the scan. So it depends on the number of test cases.
All right, all right.
Yeah. So here you'll be able to see the prioritization of the vulnerabilities based on the reachability, how many are reachable, how many are not unreachable, and then the ROI calculator is also given in the dashboard.
How is this calculated? ROI?
Yes. So here we are able to show you that how many number of hours we have been able to save of the developer teams
Okay,
using the platform. Like,
all right. Interesting.
yeah. So if you go to this asset dashboard. From here, you can add the asset. From here, you can add the asset. You will be able to see the 4 steps to add the asset. The one is the add domain. You need to add the domain. Then the verification of the domain will be there, and then you can, for example, if I just show you. So this is the domain that I have added. Then
Mm-hmm.
I need to verify it. I'll just go to the verification. Then the verification of the ownership. this domain will be done. We are giving you three ways to do the verification, like the add profile, meta tag, or the DNS. So DNS TXT is a widely used method. So why we are doing the verification? Because we need to know that the asset that you are scanning, it belongs to your organization and it do not
Right.
belongs to any kind of third party organization.
Yeah.
Then we're going to verify it. So once it is getting successfully verified, then there is a next step, that is the add scan profile. Here you will be able to add whether you want to add the web application or the API. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
then you can add any kind of, you can name any name to your profile, and then so basically, if we are giving you two type of scans, like authenticated and the unauthenticated scans. So
Okay.
for the authenticated scans, we need the header authentication or the cookie header authentication. So you can choose any of them, and then you can add it. So the asset will get added and it will show you in this. It will be visible you in this dashboard.
Mm-hmm.
Then from here you can, from that gear icon, that settings option, you can have different settings like journal settings. So you can name the, what's the name of the profile, you can add that, should we automatically run the start scan or the new. So all these things you can see. You can customize the scanning as well.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you can delete, or you can delete any domain, or if you want to delete it from this profile. So then we
Mm-hmm.
have the scan settings. Here you can uh, customize the scan, like which ports you want to scan or which ports you want to avoid. So all these things will be available in this scan settings option.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Where do we actually see the vulnerabilities that were found?
Yes, that will be shown in the vulnerabilities dashboard. I'll just quickly leave it over there as well. Then the authentication, and then the integration. So these are the integrations for the workflow apps that are available. It will get
Okay.
integrated into the, seamlessly integrated with your workflow app tools like Slack, Jira, Trello, PagerDuty, ServiceNow, Splunk,
Nice.
and all these things. So it also have the DevSecOps integration also available. So these are the historical data and the historical scans. You'll be able to see it from here.
Okay. That is the list of scans or the list of vulnerabilities?
That is a list of scans, the previous scans, and once you enter to in the every asset dashboard, then here you'll be able to see the scan status. Once you start the scan, then there is a six steps stages, like starting from the information gathering. So whenever each stage gets completed, you will be able to see the line getting orange in a completed manner. So this is
Okay.
a step by step and a stage by stage scanning
Mm-hmm.
gets started. Then if you want to see the vulnerabilities being found, you can go to here on this vulnerability dashboard, and here you will be able to see all the vulnerabilities which are found. For example, these are the top reachable vulnerabilities which are found.
This
We are
prioritize.
giving them that, yes, these are prioritized, and we are also giving them the tag like breaching, which are the breaching vulnerabilities, which are the reachable ones. So these are the already the uh, prioritized vulnerabilities.
If I want to see more details on, let's say, the first one, like I just click on
Yes,
it.
if you will going to click on it, you will be able to have the complete description of this vulnerability. Okay, then you will be able to have the remediation as well. And then the snic code is also available. So basically our platform is doing the dynamic application security testing. Okay. So where it just needs the domain or the URL of your application or the API definition files. But for the code scanning, we have the integration with the snic. So here it will be giving you the code as well, the corrected code, the remediation.
Nice.
And we are coming up with our own static application security testing platform as well, which will be going to do the code analysis, the code vulnerabilities. That will be coming soon in the ThreatSpy. So that will
Okay.
have the SAS, SCA, and NASPOM. And here you will be able to see the vulnerabilities being found on
Mm-hmm.
different locations found at
Right.
this. So if you are going to click on that one location, you'll be able to get the complete request headers and the response headers here.
Mm-hmm. All right.
So in a similar way, every vulnerability is being tagged, and then the CWID is there, the CVSS score is there, then the severity, like the medium, and then the 11 is the number of locations, number of times it is being found in your
All right.
application of the
All right.
API.
Mm-hmm. Um, Also, you mentioned AI and the use of AI. So, where here is AI being used in this?
So AI is being used in the backend of this because the steps that you are getting for the remediation steps that are all AI generated and AI powered steps that are the
All right.
actual and the curated steps that will help you to fix that vulnerability in a very lesser time.
Okay, okay. So you don't actually see directly AI being used. It's more in the back end. All right.
Yes, it's more on the back end. And then you will have this automation playbook features as well. Then the SLA tracking, the support is
Well,
also there. You have the
there's
complete
that
documentation
automation.
available.
Could you tell us a bit about the automation playbook? It sounds interesting.
Yeah, so the automation playbook is like you can create the new automation playbook, the playbook name, then the vulnerability to fix. You can create this complete automation playbook for every vulnerability where you can assign these particular vulnerabilities to your different team members, and then they can have the track of all those vulnerabilities. You can see
Oh,
whenever they are, so the each team member which will be assigned here, they'll get the notification that the admin has assigned you this particular vulnerability and you have to fix it like this. Then they can track, then they can see that what vulnerabilities need to be fixed by that particular team or team members, and then they can fix it, and then they can you know keep it here like that this vulnerability has been fixed. So in the same way, the complete tracking of those vulnerabilities will take place. Yeah.
okay, okay. Yeah, that's pretty smart. Automatic drop.
Then the auto run schedule will also be there for the
Mm-hmm.
remediation actions. For example, you can also, schedule the scan. For example, if there is a particular main application, and then you can schedule the scanning of that particular application on a weekly basis, like for every Monday or for every Tuesday. And then the remediation actions will also be here. For
Mm-hmm.
example, if
Mm-hmm.
the vulnerability has not been fixed, then they'll also get the notification that this particular vulnerability is not fixed yet in a particular
Mm.
given days of time. So all the notifications and the complete SLA tracking will be there for the teams, for the developer teams.
Got it. Got it. Great.
Then these are the other settings
Right.
like
The setting.
account
Yeah.
setting, billing, team members. You can add the team members who will have the notifications, will have the SLA trackings, everything will be there.
Got it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
SLA tracking. Okay. Nice.
Yeah, the global policies being set, you can edit these on your own as well. For example, the critical vulnerability, you have the minimum time, the maximum time period should be there for the 2 days. That in 2 days you have to fix that particular critical vulnerabilities. You can edit that it to you can increase the number of days also for your team likewise. And
Yeah.
if it is breaching these SLA policies, you'll get the notification on your
Got it.
connected workflow apps as well.
Right. Thanks. Yeah, that
So
was insightful and interesting demo. Yeah, great product you guys are building there, and looking
thank
forward to
you.
uh, the code scanning feature that you guys are going to add. Yeah, come back and
Yes.
tell us about it when it launches. Um,
Yes.
I want to ask about when you know when your customers adopt ThreatSpy. What are some of the changes they see in their metrics, in their security metrics? What difference do they see in the first 1 month or so?
So the difference is they are able to see the vast coverage of the vulnerabilities and the very lesser false positives. So we currently have a very less false positive rate, around 2 to 3%. Okay, and with the the continuous and the future scans, with the continuous number of scans will get increased, and with the use of AI, that false positive rate will be going to the 0%. Likewise. So the impact that we have been able to get is the with 95% reduction in the false positive rate, and we are 89% faster in resolving critical vulnerabilities, then 85% faster remediation also. That is like the customers have been able to see that, and that's how
Hmm.
we are able to save 1.2 million dollars per deployment for the developer teams, and that's how we are able to give the 80x ROI to the teams.
Amazing. And do you find that your customers mostly come from using like very basic minimal security tooling, or do they come from using something that's more complex and something much bigger and maybe more expensive even, and then they come to you and they find you're a better fit for them? Where do you see more people coming to you from?
So there are people who are coming who are not, using any kind of security tools also, where
Hmm.
they are not that familiar and they do not have the security teams also in house, but the developer teams want these kind of tools to be used. So if they are starting to, make themselves familiar with some kind of tools that are, very much needed in today's time, they are utilizing ThreatSpy. They are coming, they are accepting the ThreatSpy. They are finding it more useful. And then there are many teams which are already using tools, the traditional tools where they are not, they are not finding the value out of it, like the vulnerability
Hmm.
coverage and then the remediation. That is the main challenge they face. So the steps, the remediation steps that those traditional tools are giving, that are very, very generic. And that is the main issue that the developer teams and the security teams are seeing nowadays. So they want very, very curated steps, so they do not have to hop onto the other Google websites to
Yeah.
find the remediation for this particular vulnerability to get fixed in their environment. Rather,
Mm.
they are very happy uh, with the steps that we are providing, because we are providing very, very curated steps to
Okay.
fix that particular vulnerability in that in their own environment. We
Mm.
analyze the environment during the reconnaissance phase with the use of AI. We analyze which tech stack that application is built in, and there to fix any vulnerability in a different tech stack, there are the teams have to follow the different ways. So we actually give them the particular way that will be workable to fix that vulnerability in their environment, and that's
Nice.
how, I mean, they are finding our platform very, very uh, suitable and very valuable for them.
Nice. Great. When it comes to AI, one of the problems and challenges that products face when integrating AI into their product, and even people face when using AI as consumers, is just false positives or hallucinations, where AI, being AI, just makes some mistakes. And especially in the context of security, that becomes more important. So, in your use of AI in the product, how would you say your team has handled this? Or how do you deal with this challenge of making sure the quality of AI output is very high, close to as close as possible to 100%? What trend have you been seeing in terms of the kinds of, uh, I don't know, like maybe missteps that AI takes, and how you've been able to fix and improve those missteps? Any thoughts on just how, as builders, as product managers, designers, how do you integrate AI in a security tool in a way that takes into consideration AI is not perfect, but still it's very useful? And how do you make the most of it and keep making it better?
So the thing is, we are not fully dependent on the AI for ThreatSpy, because this, like, we have developed from scratch, and on some of the things where the AI is very, very important, there, like, we are leveraging the power of AI. And the rest is we have a community of our own researchers and security engineers likewise, who researches on the new upcoming vulnerabilities or any new flaws that have the power to become the vulnerability. So we verify those flaws, we verify those cases, and then we put up in our platform. And we just make sure that our AI doesn't give any wrong, outputs to the
Right.
developer teams. Yeah,
So you
and
take a
that's
blended.
how. Yes. So it's a
Nice.
complete, mix of approach with
Yep.
AI and with the human specific as well,
Okay.
because we can't fully dependent on the AI. We
Yeah.
have to, make sure with our own brains also that whether this is right output or this is a wrong output by the AI.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I need
Yes.
some babysitting. Uh,
Yes, yes.
as you look ahead to the next year or so, what excites you most about the space you're building and working in? And either it could be stuff happening in your industry outside that you're keeping an eye on as a trend that's developing, or something even within your own product that you guys are building out. Tell us something exciting that you're looking forward to in the next 6 months to a year that you're keeping an eye on.
So the trends are going like it's the API first attacks. So API first attacks are very, very increasing. Then AI assisted attackers. So attackers are also, leveraging bad AI to
Mm,
have these kind of attacks. And then shift from the point tools to the platforms like ours. Then the best practices, it's like the continuous AppSec, not the quarterly testing. There needs to
mhm,
be a weekly testing of all your platforms, all your softwares, all your applications, whether they are in production or they are production ready as well. Then the risk-based prioritization is very important, and then the security embedded into CI/CD tools like Jenkins, GitHub, GitLab. So our platform gets easily integrated with your CI/CD tools like Jenkins, GitHub, GitLab, Circle CI, all these things. Then the developer first remediation also, that is the very most important focus. And then the move towards the agentic AI, where the security systems detect, decide, and act on autonomously. So we are also, in the phase of transition to the agentic AI platform. And
mhm.
my advice to teams would be stop chasing every vulnerability, and you need to start fixing the right ones in a very
All right.
faster way. And you have to choose the tools that reduce friction and that do not add friction or
Mhm,
slow down your development phase. So security should enable the innovation and it
mhm.
should not slow it down, the innovation.
Right, right. Wow, those are some interesting words of advice there that you just gave us. Sounds like really exciting times for you and the team at Secure Blink. Thanks for joining us today and for the detailed demo that you gave us. Very interesting product that you guys are building. And do come back, like I was mentioning, when you launch your next big feature, I think code scanning. Come back and do a demo.
Yes.
Tell us about it. We'd love to have you back.
Thank you so much. And this was a really great conversation.
Yeah, sure thing. All right. That was Sonal from Secure Blink. Reach out to her on LinkedIn if you want to get in touch. Sonal Khanna, Sonalkhanna is her name, and the company is Secure Blink. That's it from us today. Join us again on the next episode where we'll be talking about something else in the space of cloud native computing. We'll see you on that one.